What is good? What's good? What's good? We here on this 8/24, this wonderful
Yeah,
Kobe Day
yeah.
to celebrate one of the GOATs, greatest of all time, Kobe Bryant. I am Damo the Political Plug. This is the Chop Up Show. We're not necessarily a sports in the show, but we are sports fans, and I celebrate the great Kobe Bryant. I'm here with my road dog, though. Toya G, what's good with you?
What's going on, plug? Shout out to Kobe Bean Bryant. Mamba lives forever. Even as a Celtics fan, I have enough sense to celebrate the man who Kobe was, the rival, the competitor, the influencer, the pioneer. So shout out to young Kobe. And happy Thursday, y'all. What's good? What's going
Happy
on? What's good?
Thursday. We here a historic Thursday, a historic Kobe Day.
This guy.
We got a lot of things to converse and to discuss with y'all. But since we do got some very serious kind of conversations to have with y'all, you got presidents getting mug shots. The Rona's on its way back. The world is getting crazy, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, again, an ex-president that's getting mug shots as the leading candidate for presidency in the upcoming election. So it's a scary world, and we're gonna talk about the scary aspects of that world. But we want to first, again, in the vein of celebration, pay some respect to something we all love, something we all hold dear, and that is hip hop culture,
Definitely.
rap music, R&B music, soul music,
no.
all of that, all those things
Yes, no.
that make looking at us that make up hip hop, and we are in the 50th anniversary of it, of hip hop. Yes, it is. It's still a baby in the game. You feel me? And for it to be as prominent as it is, and to start the show out, what we wanted to do, there was a list that Toya came across that had a couple different. It was like 30 days of hip hop, and like every day you answered this hip hop question. Go ahead, you can chime in, Toya.
Yeah, it is actually a hashtag music sermon list from a music, I don't know, she's icon, a music griot, I think, in a lot of ways, or a hip hop griot, or a black music griot in a lot of ways. Her name is Naima Cochran. I follow her on Instagram. I follow her on Twitter. Her lists are popular amongst black timelines during Black Music Month, which is the month of June. So you might have seen some of her posts floating around with 30 days of black music, where you get a chance to respond to your favorite song for this occasion, favorite wedding song, favorite black history song, favorite revolutionary song, favorite song to turn up to, favorite baby making song, right? Those will be some of the themes that you might see throughout that month. And so for the Hip Hop 50, she came up with the 31 days of hip hop, which is a list of just great topics that allow for you to think back on some of your favorite songs and your favorite jams. So first of all, shout out to Frederick for popping in the chat. Shout out to Donnell for popping in the chat. We want to hear from the rest of y'all. Hit that thumbs up. You already know what to do when you come up.
As you come in, hit the thumbs up, share the video, like the video. If you ain't subscribed, subscribe. All of that.
And listen, if you watching this video later, I want to charge you to drop your comments about this. So if you're watching the feed after it's live and you are replaying the experience, go ahead and drop your feedback on what your choices for some of these categories.
I didn't want to say this, but I got to say this. That's definitely church language. Charging somebody, charging the audience to do something is church language. If y'all ain't grow up in a black family or going to a black church, when the pastor or when the deacon or when the speaker wanted to make sure that you was doing something throughout the week, they charged you with that task. So, if y'all listening on the playback, the topics that we're going to discuss real quick to open this up, we hope that y'all comment and let us know y'all answers to these same questions. Toya.
All right. So we're not going to do our 31 by any means, but we are going to jump into this list. And we both picked some of our favorite categories to see what each other was going to say. So we want y'all to jump in the chat and see what y'all going to say too. Okay. First category is best introduction to a new or incoming rapper, right? What song do you think of when you think of the best introduction we had to a newer incoming rapper? I'll go first while you think. My solid choice it was actually my second choice, but the one I chose I'm gonna use for something else. So my runner-up that's gonna be my first choice for this is Soulja Boy, Crank That. I think you really gotta look at how we didn't know this little man from Mississippi, little skinny, tall, lanky dude jumping around and cranking and doing all this.
Writing on his glasses, yeah. Wow, it was an error.
humongous clothes, but Crank That was a movement. I'm talking about when I got to college, it was all through my senior year of high school. I think, yeah, my junior, senior year of high school.
Yeah.
Then when I got to college, you know what the RAs did to get everybody together to be a team on they playing Soulja Boy. Now I was over it by then. I was way over it. But
Done for.
kiss me through the phone, hop about the bed, turn you like it really set a tone for a series of hits. And Soulja Boy is always talking about what he was originator of, what he did first and this, that, and the other. And we really got to tip our hat to that young man because he was out here, making moves in the industry and really doing a lot of great things for hip hop that we see resonate today. He changed the game. We got to be honest.
Draco, one of the GOATs.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's undisputed. And so I'm gonna go ahead and pick Crank That by Soulja Boy as the best introduction to a newer incoming rapper. What you got?
All right, so this first answer is gonna kind of lay out the framework for how y'all probably gonna understand. You know what I'm saying? How I seen rap. At first I wanted to say Kanye, but not really. I had to warm up to Kanye, right? Because like the first song I was introduced from Kanye, what didn't get me like that. I gotta say Drake though. The song that he was on with Ransom, White Owl dropped that. I forget which mixtape it was that I heard it on. I remember the day I heard it. Ransom, Drake featuring Lil Wayne. And like the verse, like from that point on, I was like, all right, this Drake nigga, I'm a fan, period. I went and found everything, listened to was trying to, you know what I'm saying, went back and was like, who is this? And like really, so that's why to see where Drake is now, it was kind of like, bro, like anybody that was paying attention in that era, like my college era was, you know what I'm saying, from 2006, 2007 to 2010, 11, you feel me? Well, like that's my official college era type shit. But until I got too old for shit. But that for me, like it was Drake, Ransom, like the nigga hit the ground running. It was crazy.
I'm trying to think. What was my first Drake intro? Because how did Ransom go? How am I tripping?
I'm on hard, gotta get along with, get on the song, but when shit be going right then, I just flip it to the wrong shit. The team
I don't even know if I heard that before, but I remember
you've heard it.
I remember being what was it, International Girl or whatever song he was on with Trey
Replacement
Songz.
Replacement Girl.
Yeah. It was that and like a couple other songs that my roommate was playing off her desktop, big old chunky desktop Dell computer in our dorm room. Yeah. And that was my intro to Drake, but I respect it. Okay, next category, next topic. We're gonna go to your favorite hip hop love song. What's your favorite hip hop love song? When you think of the jams, and I'm gonna allow for us to do runner ups. If you got a choice and a runner up, do both of them because this is gonna be one of those times. But what you got?
Nah, I feel like I got a few runner ups, but off the top of my head, y'all gonna laugh, but 21 questions. Period. You know what I'm saying? If I fell off tomorrow, would you still love me? If I ain't smell so good, would you like? It was 21 questions. Like it's just you know what I mean? Hip hop, like a nigga like 50 Cent. You know what I mean? Beefing with Ja Rule, this hard game. You know what I mean? And then still put out the 21 questions joint. Nate Dogg, rest in peace. Yeah, legendary.
Okay, good choice. And I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna make sure I tag in some of these comments, regardless of where we are in our list. Jumping back to the best intro to a newer upcoming rapper. Donnell says Wayne's verse on Back That Ass Up took over hip hop for the next 10 years and really was a peekaboo into everything else we saw from Go DJ to everything else from there, right? So shout out to Wayne. Shout out to Melodious in the building, Columbus in the building. Right now we're talking about the Hip Hop 50 and we are going back and forth with our choices for the best of some of these categories. So Plug just said 50 Cent, 21 questions for a favorite hip hop love song.
What is y'all favorite hip hop love song?
Make sure y'all
first off the top of the dome. Don't be trying to justify nothing. What is y'all favorite hip hop love song?
So my personal favorite hip hop love song is "Love of My Life" by Common and exactly and Erykah Badu. That love of my life.
Yeah.
My slid. Like she slid on that hoe. He did his thing.
She did.
Yes, y'all, and you don't.
She did.
It was a vibe, and so I feel like that song was already nostalgic feeling when it came out, and so now it's old, so now it really is nostalgic feeling. You know what I'm saying? In terms of it's a feel good, real fall love song. You know what I'm saying? My runner up, which I don't even let play because I'm so sick of hearing it, but it is such I think a cornerstone undisputed love song, particularly from our generation hip hop love song. Is Dilemma from Nelly and Kelly.
Hey, classic. Yeah. Because they played it. They played it to To the wheels fall off.
Well,
Yeah, it fell
to
off.
the
But
white
yeah,
dude. Do you hear me? But
yeah.
it's a great song that I think, you know what I'm saying, definitely fits the
Dina
vibe for what
said,
we doing.
"You're all I need to get by." Mary J and Method Man. And see, yeah, let's point a few things out. Toya and I, like Toya, we both late '80s babies.
Yeah,
So it's like we, you know what I mean, like early '90s rap, we was around for. You feel me? But it was more like, you know what I mean, like it was around what we was around, what we listened to, like what people to listen
yeah,
to around us type shit. We actually didn't start like kind of picking out what our own rap music was, what our own R&B music was, till like this had to be the with the early 2000s. Our hip hop era was the early 2000s. Our hip hop era was niggas in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Like the like dance music, like when niggas danced in hip hop when I grew up. Like I don't know, you know what I
exactly.
mean? Like niggas beyond that, Method Man and them they ain't dance like that, but like niggas, you feel me? Like our era was early 2000s. So I definitely, so please don't take anything we say as disrespect to the older generations. You feel me? But just you gotta, just to give you some context. Like I got nothing but love. But Method Man,
Right, right, right.
Redman, they some of my favorite ever of all time. But like when it was like my turn, like I'm picking this out, nigga. I'm in control of the playlist. That early 2000 shit was, So go ahead.
Hey, I think we lost the plug. I think we lost the plug. So we're gonna definitely keep talking though. But y'all let me know in the comment if y'all are still rocking with the live, if y'all still here and talking to me. I seen Melodious drop Prototype by Outkast, which is of course undisputed, right? He's even when as far as saying I feel like this is cheating, which it kind of is, right? Because I mean they floated on that hoe. You know what I'm saying? It's inexplicable, it's undeniable. Outkast definitely went off. Donnell says 911 by Wycliffe and Mary J. And it's so funny that you bring that up because I used to sing the hell out of that song when I was when was that? When I was in high school. And for whatever reason, my mama heard me sing that song one day. Someone please call 911. Tell them I just got shot down. And she was like, what the hell are you talking about? What are you singing? And before I could even really explain what I was trying to get at, she was like, don't sing that song. Like, I don't want you saying that. But a cold love song, right? That really just talks about, the heart and the soul, you know what I'm saying, connection and the vibe that you get, you know what I'm saying, that are really trying to love on somebody hard that is fleeting, who could be leaving at any moment, right? So it's a beautiful situation. Shout out to Andrea in the building. Much love to you. Plug, are you back?
Yeah, so actually I only dropped off on Riverside. We was still on the stream. We was still on the live together. So you was
Hey,
cooking. Yeah,
well,
yeah.
I was
You was
just
doing
talking
your
about
thing.
talking to the people while you came back in the frame. I'm
Yeah,
glad to have you
yeah.
back. Let's move on though. Let's move on though. We got some feedback from the comments. I want to go to your favorite remix. And this is not the best remix. This is your favorite remix. What is your favorite remix? Can I go first?
Go ahead.
So I don't know why, because I just really, when I was coming up with these, I wanted to pick the first thing that came to my mind is just favorite remix,
Favorite
right?
remixes, people. Put your favorite remix in the chat. Favorite
Go to the
remix, Hip
chat.
Hop 50.
My favorite remix, the first thing I thought of that I rap bar for bar, word for word, don't matter whose verse it is Welcome to Atlanta remix. Okay?
Ooh, that's a good one. See, I told y'all
Listen,
this early. What? Well, that was like what? That
that's
was
early
oh 2
2000.
that was oh 03. You
Listen,
know what I'm
because
saying?
we used to be like, I'm gonna tell y'all what we used to sing on the bus in middle school on the way to school at 7 o'clock in the morning, annoying the hell out of everybody. Welcome to Lincoln, where the plays play, and we ride on the bus like every day. Big beats, history, see gangsters rolling, and school starts about 7:20 in the morning. Like,
Yeah, that's some Lincoln kids. Yeah, I
hey
would be
man,
some Lincoln kids.
be mad, but I just honestly, Murphy Lee is a bad man, jumped on that hoe and slid. You already had Ludacris on there doing what he was gonna do, and Jermaine Dupri. You had Snoop on that mug going up, and I think that's it. But it was and then you had Diddy on that hoe. You know what I'm saying? So a
Yeah,
nice little
yeah.
representation of the cornucopia of hip hop cultures that we had going off in hip hop during that time. So I was satisfied with it.
Speaking of Diddy, I would have to say mine. Keeping it quick, ain't gonna do y'all too bad, but it's the I Need a Girl with part 3. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you like part three, yeah.
That part 3, that what I need. Ooh, but it's a pretty woman next to me.
Standing
All of
next
that.
to me.
Yeah, all of
It's
that. Like
great.
all of that. You feel
That
me?
was an era. That
It
was a
was
that was
a
a
it was
bad
an
boy
era.
era.
It was an era. You feel me? It, like that's a classic remix. Like and it was the third remix. They had killed it. Usher was on the original joint. So yeah, it was live. It was a good one. It was a good one.
Absolutely. I can agree with that. Got to shout out Tyler in the comments. What's good with you, fam? Glad you tapped in with us. Frederick dropped a banger, right? That Touch It
The
remix.
Touch It remix.
Listen.
Hey, yes.
Watch it, turn it.
Yeah, the Touch It remix. That is one. Hey, Melodious too. Melodious said Pastor Cavassier Part 2. Yes.
Listen, I love it.
Yes. I mean, and it is crazy because it's common people like Frederick. That's one buster. That's one buster joint. Melodious come with another buster joint. You know what I'm saying? Like,
didn't agree with it.
yo, like, it's a. And again, this is that early 2000s era. This that early Tyler said 2000s thinking Lincoln.
Shout out to Tyler though.
That's
We
my
appreciate
exactly.
it.
Exactly.
You also said your favorite rapper is Usher, so whatever that means, you know what I'm saying? Whatever that means.
Yeah. That's
Right.
a story for another day. That's a story for another day.
We keeping the list pushing. We keeping the list pushing. Let me see. Donnell said, "Not tonight." Yes, absolutely. Lil Kim left out of Brad, Missy, and like classic. I think I was probably in middle school when that mug popped off too. Classic lady song. Classic. Just that.
I think I remember that joint. I think I remember the video for that joint. Yeah.
I'm picturing it in my head, and for whatever reason, I'm picturing that alongside that Lady Marmalade video. That wasn't a remix.
And Ladies Night. Remember that Ladies Night joint? So
Absolutely.
that was again, the sisters was doing they was doing their thing at that time.
Absolutely.
They was kicking it at that time. Yeah.
Yeah, killing it. All right.
Next one.
Next topic. Y'all get ready to jump in these comments.
Hey, and remember we having these conversations because we wanna do some celebrating. Again, I got one more glass of champagne celebrating. Because we got some more serious things to talk about. But let's have a good time before we get into the dialogue.
Celebrating that hip hop 50. Shout out to Nico. Nico, what's good? Also, Melodious said, "Get your freak on remix." Who want to get your freak on remix? I'm trying to think. Who want to get? Did I have a?
See that? Yeah, I feel like that was an era where you really didn't have a banger if you didn't have a remix. So
I got homework to do, so I'm gonna go check out to get your freak on remix because it's not registering to me right now. But let's move on. What's a song, y'all, that puts a battery in your back? Like, what's a song when you hear it, you can't help but to turn up? You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be a hip hop song that you just when it slaps, it slaps. When it bangs, it bangs. For me, the song that first came to my head was "Drop the World" by Eminem and Lil Wayne.
I'm gonna pick the world up and I'm gonna drop it on it. Yeah.
Like it'll take me to a place. It make me feel invincible. He said, "I know what they don't want to tell you." Like, it turned me out every time, bro. And I mean, both of them went off. You know what I mean? Like,
Cook.
I don't make a habit out of standing out of Eminem too hard, but the Nick he go though. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, it's kind of undeniable. I think when we think about more recent songs, recent air quote recent, because that song came out 15 years ago now, but that was one of his pop back outs where he was like, "Don't forget, I'm still that guy. I'm good." Yeah, I'm not. So he can't pick up no top 10 residency for me. Yeah, I'm not willing to give him that. That's just not. I'm not.
Okay.
Feel how you want to feel, but for slot 11, he eats.
So we got some good ones. Of course, we got Nucky. We got Nucky If You Buck. Frederick said In the Paint. Let me see. Yeah, Nuck If You Buck Again. You feel me? Ain't No Such Thing as Halfway Crooks. My boy Rob. T-shirt, Migos. So we got some get live songs. I'm gonna take it back for y'all. Some early T.I. that stand up. If you don't like what I'm saying, nigga. And listen, I'm not a violent nigga. I'm an intellectual. Yeah. I'm a poet. Right? I'm a lover boy. You feel me? But when that stand up came on, nigga, it was like, well, the Trick Daddy Dilly Beloved, we gather here today to bury the shook nigga in his own spot. Well, I'm telling it put something different in me. You feel me? That I feel like that whole that T.I. trap music, like that was for me. Like I wasn't a trap music nigga. That's when I first started getting into Kanye. You feel me? So I was more so I'm learning about Black Star and all the, you know what I'm saying, the pro black shit. Mm-hmm. But then nigga that went out like that trap music and that stand up, I'm telling you, I was like that put me in the mode. You feel me?
Right on. I want to shout out some of these other comments. Frederick said in the paint. I'm assuming that's Waka Flocka. We go hard, I go hard in the mother paint,
Pay, yeah. What you?
thinking, nigga, what
Yeah,
you
yeah,
thinking?
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Candy Cane said, "Don't want no drama from MJG." And then
Mm-hmm.
Brother Rob said, "Number one spot for me. Number one spot. I want to know. I'm curious. Is that Nelly? Is that what? Who do number one
Nah,
spot?
I think Rob that number Nelly song is number one.
This is number one, right?
Rob the number one spot. That's Luda. That's
Okay,
Luda.
okay.
Yeah, that's looking for that number
International
one
Playlist
spot.
Anthem.
Yeah,
Okay.
that Three Stacks
International Playlist
verse.
Anthem
Yeah,
remix. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Hold your heart. Three stacks. Hold
That's
your heart.
with
What did
your
what
heart.
was that?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But my
Wow.
my backup is I definitely I didn't went too
Oh,
long without talking about J. Cole. So my backup got to be Crunch Time. That's on that For Your Eyes Only mixtape. A lot of y'all probably ain't heard that one, but that Crunch Time. If y'all take some time out, if y'all want to get kind of really get in your mental. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Crunch Time.
Okay.
It'll do that for you.
Bro, Rob came through with the clarification from Ludacris.
Yeah,
So,
Luda. Yeah.
I'm coming for the
That
number
number
one
one
spot.
spot. Yeah, that joint.
Yeah,
Yes, that
okay.
joint. Yes.
Back with it, and then coming in real
Yes.
quick from Melodious is Bow Tie by Outkast. Again, man, like I really feel like Outkast was a group that I always knew to appreciate, but I think regionally I just didn't have that Atlanta influence when we was young, when a lot of fire stuff was coming out. So I called Sorry Miss Jackson getting ready for school.
We from
I called
Missouri, y'all. Kansas
exactly.
and
I thought,
Missouri. Yeah.
but I'm very remiss about what I missed. I feel like I missed with really getting deep into the deep cuts of Outkast. So shout out to Melodious for dropping some another Outkast suggestion there. All right,
Yeah.
moving on. Next topic. And keep it pushing. This is gonna be personal to everybody, so I want y'all to choose y'all's best option. Which artist put your region on the map, or what
Mm.
song? What song? What song from an artist put your region on the map? I feel like me and the plug probably gonna have the same one, but I'm interested to see what you're gonna say. So I'm gonna let you go
You
first.
go first, cause you already know where I'm coming from, so you go first.
We gonna see. I feel like I can't really completely claim this because we from Kansas City. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like
yeah,
we from Kansas City.
yeah,
But nigga, when we talk about the region, people at
yeah.
least talking about some type of Missouri or something like that, we gotta say Country Grammar by Nelly. I feel like it's just no other way, no other option to really talk about who regionally put
Region,
national, international attention on the middle of the map.
yeah.
That set up Chingy, that set up the Huey, shout out RIP to Huey, set up everything for the St. Lunatics. I gotta go to Nelly.
So I want to hear from y'all because I think Candy Cane said Twister, and it's different because we are from the Midwest, but Chicago is its own part of the Midwest.
Own part of Midwest,
Like
yeah.
niggas, like Chicago is the East Coast of the Midwest. If we being honest, you feel me? Because it's Chicago really country as hell, but it's a city like a motherfucker. You feel me? So it's one of them like so you got Twister. Right, you got niggas in Ohio, you got Bone, you feel me? So I mean, and then you got underground Kansas City with Tech Nine. So we got like our local, you know what I'm saying, like niggas from the Midwest that really be what it is. But
Yeah.
for real though, Nelly, that country grammar, like St. Louis was down the street, the niggas. You feel me? So it was like so Kansas City was like shit. Of course, like this country grammar shit, like we on the same shit.
We shout out Kansas City in the song. You know
In
what
the
I'm saying? So
song.
it ain't right. It ain't clear. You know what
Oh,
I'm
bro, Rob said Common too. We forgot about Common. Common Chicago.
Common, Kanye,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
came through in Kanye. But we want songs, y'all. We looking for songs, not just artists who put your region on. We want songs. So Dina said Snoop, Gin and Juice, right?
Yeah, okay, so dude, we know where you
Uh,
from. We know where you
right.
from. Yeah.
Absolutely. Soundboy, okay, Andre, let me make sure. Smith and Wesson by Soundboy Burrell.
Melodious, you from Texas? Because Melodious said, look, Kiki, Paul Wall, Mike Jones, LaTroy. He talk. That's Houston.
That's Houston. All
That's
day long.
Houston. H-Town, easy. So what's up?
Yeah.
You feel me? That's
Tyler
family.
said Juvie, Juvenile. So we got New Orleans.
Yeah, so you know Tyler from Nolens. Tyler
didn't
from
know that.
Nolens.
I
Yeah,
actually did
yeah.
not know that.
Yeah, that's
Right
where
on.
he's from. Yeah, but he
Okay.
ended up in Kansas City. Now the nigga in Hawaii. Hey, my nigga, we need to check on Ninja Tyler Black in the chat is in Hawaii. Need to make sure that nigga straight.
Yeah.
But
All right.
but
I didn't even know
yeah,
that.
we
Yeah,
can,
Tyler, we definitely have to tap in.
but he on here, so yeah, he
Let's see. We got
well
Jesus
enough.
Walks from Chicago.
Yeah.
We got Master P. Make him say right. So that's a song you feel like definitely Master. And I could say Mississippi. No, not in Mississippi. That's more New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? Being put on the map right there.
Mm-hmm.
Want to be a baller, and then Melody said confirm from Texas.
Right.
Tyler is a
Right.
hater. Patrick
Yeah.
Mahomes said Kansas City on the map. Say something about that. I bet you can rap.
Right. Right.
Uh, but nah, okay. So and then Frederick, a little bit higher said Cash Money. So No Limit, Cash Money definitely put on for that
Yeah,
song.
because I mean, because we niggas knew about Atlanta, niggas knew about. I feel like Houston kind of always was underground everywhere because we had a Kansas City had a Swisher House phase.
Yeah,
We definitely had a phase where like
yeah.
everybody
Everything
in
was about
Kansas
to
City
jam
was,
through
yeah, was trying to chop and screw everything. So shout
everything.
out to Houston. Next
Actually,
category.
and the clarification from Andrea was Burial, Soundboy Burial, Smith and Wesson. Okay, okay. So put me on something new because I wasn't familiar. Next category, we got a couple more before we switch up and transition to the next part of the show. What is a song that you got in trouble for listening to, or you knew you couldn't slap with adults in the room? Like you couldn't slap with the OG, you had to wait for them to go away. I'll go first
Go ahead.
because I played this and really actually it was playing peacefully. And I don't think my mama paid that much attention to it. And then my pastor preached a whole sermon about that shit. And boy, I- so then I couldn't listen to the song no more.
Yeah,
And then
shout
my
out to
brain
Curl. Shout out to Curl.
chill on my mama, my nigga. But um it was Splash Waterfalls by
Ah,
now
yes,
Ludacris.
yes,
He
yes.
went and broke down on Youth Sunday. My nigga was like, let's talk about what the kids is listening to. The hip hop is perverted and it's taking over the minds of the children. And read the lyrics piece for piece. And I was just in there like, child, my name's not Ludacris. I cannot be held accountable for that. But
Yeah,
definitely
Dina said my neck and my back. Fred said 3-6
Three
Mafia.
Six Mafia for
Hey,
sure.
I feel like all of us got in trouble for like even knowing who 3-6 Mafia was. For me,
Listen.
myself, mine is a bit more. I kind of put myself in that situation. So this around the time senior year, I got a cell phone. You can put
Mhm.
and you can record songs and have that as your ringtone, right? So this Kanye had the joint, throw your motherfucking hands, get them hot,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I'm like, this my shit. All the girls pass your
Why?
weed to your motherfucking hands. So that's the
Yeah,
joint, right? I got that on the
a
phone.
banger.
I got that on the phone. So she dropping me off at school one morning. So like one of the homies is hitting me up, like calling me, seeing, what I'm saying, seeing where I'm about to be at school. My phone ring. All I hear is throw your motherfucking hands. My mama's like, oh no. She don't even say, you know what I'm saying? She don't even say like, well, what is that? Wait, what is she? Her initial reaction is, oh no. Well, I got
Yeah,
a whole cussing, and my mama cussed, so I don't even know where her anger came from. But
yeah.
the fact that like she was not playing, like it was. Oh no, yeah, you ain't listening to that. My runner up is the entire. Is bitch get in my car, 50 Cent. That what is it? Off the off that Massacre album.
Sure.
The hook on that song went, I got no pickup lines. I stay on the grind. I tell these hoes all the time, bitch, get in my car. And the
Yeah.
ad lib was, bitch, get in. Right? I'm telling you. For me, and this is like, I'm fresh, got the blue Impala. I got the 2003
Yeah,
blue
yeah.
Impala, navy blue. You know what I'm saying? Got the 6 disc changer in the back. So
Yes, sir.
it's a vibe. And my granny, rest in peace, granny. My great grandmother heard me listening to that shit. Man, I seen her face when she first heard it, and she was like, you don't need to be listening to that. That was the last time I ever listened to that album. She
Yeah,
told my grandmother. My grandmother came, never mentioned a word to me,
yeah.
took the album and destroyed it, and didn't admit that she did it until like 10 years later. And I was like, Grandma, I
Damn.
know you
Damn.
destroyed my 50 Cent CD. She was
Mhm.
like, yeah, I did. I did. So,
Wow. Wow. My
yeah.
honorable mention, real quick, before we go back to the comments, is PIMP.
Mm,
Uh,
that's
from
another good one.
from 50 and them, ironically, and Snoop and them. My mama was not trying to hear into that, or at least I wasn't trying to play that out loud. Tyler said, "R.I.P. to the Blue Impala. Almost caught us lacking dropping off Leotis. Shout out to Leotis.
R.I.P. to the Blue Impala, man.
Yeah,
Again, a
man.
story for another day.
Period. So let's see. We got Freaky Tales from Too Short. No Too Short was appropriate to play anywhere near my mama and in my house. So I
What?
definitely know that.
Yeah.
Melodious Hot the Couple said Milkshake, Work It by Missy Elliott. Just all these just lascivious little sexually suggestive songs.
Right.
When that popping. Let's see. Tyler is being a hater talking about Kansas City thought they were the Bay. I'm gonna continue to ignore that nonsense.
Definitely had that phase. We definitely had that phase. Can't
I
even
don't want
hate.
to talk about that. Don't do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Dennis said Danger by Mystical. Frederick said Explosive. I don't know who Explosive by.
Explosive. That was some who was it? West Coast, some West Coast niggas. It was some West Coast shit.
Okay,
I definitely know it's some West Coast shit. I forget who it was. It was definitely some West Coast shit.
All right, real quick. We got 3 more. We're gonna keep it pushing through these. Y'all are dropping them. Shout out to y'all in the comments. If y'all ain't hit that thumbs up, go ahead and tap in. If y'all been dropping comments,
please do. Please do.
Drop a thumbs up. You've been liking the conversation, and we appreciate y'all for that. Let's see. What's a favorite song of yours from the first album you bought with your own money? I'm going to say, because the first album I bought with my own money was the Marshall Mathers LP. Okay.
With all that shit you was just talking of.
Hey man, listen. I said he was dope. It was just number 11. You can't be cutting in line. So the song that I choose from that it was probably the most like wow, like rap is wild, like hip hop is crazy, like this is wild. This is hella storytelling with Stan. You know what I'm saying? I really feel like Stan was such.
That's a good one. It'll do that to you.
Video fire, you know what I'm saying? But you don't even need the video to be able to just see everything in your mind. So my favorite song from my first album that I bought my own money was Stan by Eminem.
Kenny Kane, 8701.
That ain't hip hop. Is that hip hop though? That's R&B.
Usher hip hop. R&B is hip hop. Okay. That's why you have rap and R&B. And it's hip hop. Sure. But what I say is I gotta go with number 1, Nellyville. Welcome to Nellyville. That album, but that and number 1. No matter if like I'm telling you, that was just for me, like that was 8th grade. This is an 8th grade nigga from St. Louis. You feel me? Like so, you know, it's local. You know what I mean? So like Nellyville, and I say I bought it with my own money because like growing up, I got my sister had like she was into a lot of music, so I listened to most of her catalog, which was dope, robust. You feel me? But my cousin, this is when niggas first started burning CDs. Nigga, my cousin was burning CDs for $5. Well, first time I pulled out, my mama gave me some money to go to the movies. We at the movies. I tell him, hey, Cuzzo, pull up with that Nellyville. Bow, hit him with the $5. I think niggas was good. It was a life. It was a life. The burnt CD
album,
era.
By the way, I feel like that was a great follow up to the Country Grammar album. Was that Nellyville? So Dina said, "Lil Bow Wow to Lil Bow Wow."
For sure. Brother Rob said, "Illmatic."
Absolutely.
Frederick said, "Currency Pilot Talk."
Pilot Talk. Yeah, good
for
choice.
Sure. Donnell, Kanye West, College Dropout, All Falls Down. Yes, that's another one.
Yes.
That's another one.
What was my song? Spaceship was my song off of that album. Period. Let me see. And then Melodious. What Melodious say?
Melodious said Jane Marin 5.
Jane Marin 5.
Oh, Jane Maroon 5. Melodious. That's why he said high face. He said Maroon 5. Come on now, Melodious. It's okay. That's okay. Live your truth.
That's okay. That's the name of that's the song. The name
Jane,
of the song is
Maroon 5. Yeah.
Got it.
Nico said De La Soul, my buddy. Okay. See, again, I always appreciate people that bring us to the classic. You know what I'm saying? Like the beginning of Backpack, what would become Backpack
rap. Yeah, and then Melodious comes in with the nappy roots. All my life been po, but it really don't matter no more. And they wonder why we
act this way.
Come on, nappy roots gonna be okay. Okay. Great choice. All right, pushing through the list. We got 2 more to go. The song or a song that defines your generation. A song that defines your generation. I feel like the song that defines my generation has already been dropped, so I want to take it and cross apply it. That's some debate lingo. We're gonna take that song choice and cross apply it to this category for me. I feel like Nuck and Buck is a generational
defining song.
No. Yeah. Permission to rescind. Back that ass up.
There you
I feel
go. There you
very
go.
fortunate to
There
have
you go.
grown up in the era where Back That Ass Up was at its
Yeah.
height. It was a new, fresh song and changed everything, and it has not escaped any social setting where Negroes are at, except for a church environment since then. Right. So, and Candy Cane was on the same time I was on. Cash Money, Back That Thing Up. What's good?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That, I mean, cause that was gonna be that was gonna be mine. That
Yeah.
back that thing up. That was I and I thought about it because my honorable mention is because first again back that thing up and bling bling.
Yeah. Yeah.
These are
Yes.
things that
Yeah.
again bling bling ended up in the dictionary,
In the
y'all.
dictionary.
Bling bling ended up in the dictionary based off of Cash Money. You feel me? But I also want to again. I'm a Drake fan, like early Drake fan. A lot of his new shit is cool. I don't. It's for the younger generation, but yeah, I mean that best I ever had. That kind of trend that
That was
made it to where like backpack rappers transitioned into like mainstream rap and hip hop because during that time you had backpack rap and you had trap rap. And trap rappers, T.I., Gucci, all of these niggas, they had lanes. They was good. They was always respected. Backpack niggas was still trying to earn their rep. And
yeah.
Drake was able to give niggas that little bit of baby, you my everything. It had niggas being cool, vibing on some rap shit, on some singing. You know what I mean? Nelly kind of Ja Rule broke down, like kind of was kicking down the door. Nelly was kind of kicking down the door. And Drake was
Absolutely.
like, I'm really gonna rap. So that best I ever had kind of changed niggas' approach to backpack rap as a whole. So that's why I give it his credit there too. But bling bling and back that ass up, like it defined a generation.
1000%. Tyler said Back That Ass Up was a hit on the radio out there in New Orleans 2 years before it was a hit on the radio. And that Juvenile 400 Degrees was on regular rotation at the crib. So, definitely
We
they
got a
kept the
few in the
radio
chat
out.
though. That's crazy. We
Yeah.
got Juicy, Biggie, without a doubt. Respect again. I definitely appreciate the old school. One in a Million, Aaliyah, Swag Surf, Dougie, Stanky Leg. That's a whole nother generation. You feel me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like that was
Absolutely.
yeah, but all of that. Crank that Soldier Boy. We talked about Soldier Boy too, just in terms of who came out and had an impact. So Dina, that was again though, like my son knows Crank That Soldier and he's two. So that tell
Mhm.
you how, you know what I'm saying, how significant a song that was. And so let's get into the last category.
Last category before we slide to something else. Shout out to the Cupid Shuffle from Melodious. Is what hip hop song expanded what you thought rap could be? What hip hop song
Mm,
expanded
I'm
what
going
you thought
first.
rap could be? Uh, let me see what song. What
While you think
song?
about it, I'm going first.
Go ahead and go. Go ahead and go.
For me, it's easy that who else you know been hot this long started from that the Kanye West featuring Jay-Z Never Let You Down. Like when it comes to being true, at least true
One,
to
two, to
me. I'm
me.
telling you one thing.
One
Like
thing I found. One thing I found. I never let you down.
I
Get
get
up. I
up, I
get.
get,
I get.
get up,
Get
I
up. That's definitely.
get up, I get. Yeah,
These are
like that. I mean,
yeah.
cause then having a poem in there,
Yeah.
it was just the whole it like because what I always say is Kanye helped me find my place in rap music.
Hmm.
You feel me? Like a lot of young niggas who was like, I don't want to be the street nigga. You feel me? Like I'm trying to, even the street niggas is trying to tell me don't be a street nigga. You can do the other shit. You feel me?
Right.
And so
Right.
Kanye was really like, okay, cool. Like it's a place in hip hop for niggas that debate and do the shit that I do. You know what I'm saying? That think the way that I think. You know what I mean? And so that never let you down. Cause like Jay-Z was already solidified. So like Jay-Z being on the song where you got this conscious poet shit. But then Jay spitting some shit. That niggas, you know what I'm saying? When I start spitting these lyrics, niggas get very religious. 6 Hail Marys, please, Father forgive us. Young, the Archbishop, the Pope John Paul, and y'all niggas the way y'all all follow Jigga. Hoes a
Exactly.
living legend, and I tell you why. Everybody wanna be Hope, and Hoes still alive. That was it
You went
expanded
to a
rap
place
for me.
there, sir.
Yeah, it expanded rap for me.
I don't know. I'm a cheat because we need to move on anyway, and I don't want to think too hard no more about it. So I'm gonna pick an artist who I feel like expanded what rap could be, and I feel like it's Young and May. I feel like she don't get brought up in enough conversations. I
Hmm.
always ride for Young and May. I always will find a space for her. I think right now in contemporary women's rap, She is holding her own and at the top of the league in her own brand. You know what I'm saying? So I really want her to come out with some new music. I really want for people to not be homophobic and to catch what she be putting down and fuck with her and not
She's on the
only follow.
she's on a sobriety journey. So shout out to her in her sobriety journey and getting her health and, you know what I'm saying, getting her, keeping herself right. You feel me? You know, when people disappear from out of the spotlight, you know, a lot of times they taking that for themselves to build themselves.
Yeah.
You feel me? So shout out to
But
Young M.A. How
I
she
think
get
about
down.
her, and the last thing I'll say about this because it was on my timeline on Twitter was the what do you like? Whole lot of foreplay, right? So you get it started. That Brat and
Yeah.
Tyrese song
Yeah.
where Brat was holding it down for the masculine women, holding it down for. I don't think she ever really came out and was like, "I'm a lesbian." Matter of fact, I think his record recorded that she didn't. She just was existed and
Her.
letting you
Yeah.
know. But she
Yeah.
came out with that song, and I was watching it. I used to love that video, but I was like, I don't believe you. We don't believe you. You don't want no man. You don't want like whatever. And so I think I just tip my hat to Young M.A. for not folding. You know what I'm saying, and being herself and putting on her shit and doing that thing. And ooh, that's about it.
Yeah.
Ooh, like that's my nigga. Like I love me some Young M.A. So I'm gonna shout her out whenever I get a chance. But that's expanded for me what I ever thought was gonna be mainstream acceptable on my radio. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, without a doubt. And then, but looking in the chat, brother Rob, I used to love her by comment. That was a yeah, that was controversial. Niggas felt the way about that one. You know what I'm saying? Melodious said everything by Outkast, which was like that was like they thing, right? I think that like they was showing that you had this like creative element with this street element, and that shit worked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So shit, like Outkast was industry defining in that way. Then it said Bohemian Rhapsody. Uh, ain't that's the what's the name joint though, right?
The Queen song.
Yeah.
I don't know the hip hop version of Bohemian Rhapsody, so I
Yeah,
gotta get.
Dina, get this right though. What's the hip hop version of
Yeah.
Bohemian Rhapsody?
Shout
Candy
out.
Cane.
Nico said, "My bad, Nico. I wanna make sure Melodious specifically said bombs over Baghdad. I gotta shout out that song specifically because
Yeah.
it's just so. It's a very free,
And we
very
was singing that
uplifting
song, not knowing no good what the hell they was talking about.
at all. Nico said, shout out to my dog. Nico said Kanye West All Falls Down.
Yep,
We already had Tip. That's just an amazing song. And then my
amazing
bad, bro.
album.
I cut you off. I was getting Candy Cane. Finish the rest of the comments out.
No, you good. We got Donnell going to November storytelling for show. Nico Jay-Z love song. Yeah, I can't
Yeah,
see it. I can't see it coming down my
coming down my
eyes.
eyes. So I
So
gotta
I
let
gotta
this
make
song
this
cry.
song. No, no, no,
Yeah,
no, no. That song cry. That song
that
cry,
song
bro.
cry. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's love
What is
song?
which one is love song? Which one is love song? So hey, we appreciate y'all for assisting us with this. That was the last one, right?
Yeah, that was the last one. Definitely, y'all put us on some new stuff. If y'all want to send us these tracks, send it to our DMs on Instagram. If we was like, oh, I ain't never heard it before, whatever. You want to put us on?
For
Slide
sure.
them over there real quick because I definitely shuffle through and listen to them and get into it. Andrea said anything by NERD.
Right.
Expanded what we thought it could be like. So definitely got to co-sign that. Y'all
Pharrell
are
the
fire.
Vampire.
Remember, if you catch this list after the show is live, jump in the comments and let us know what you think. If you catch the show on Spotify, Apple Pods, wherever you listen to your pods, jump into a comment section over in our DMs. Jump into our DM. Let us know what your choices is for some of these because hey, we love talking music. Shout out to hip hop, 50 years, going strong. We hoping for another 50. You know what I'm saying? We're hoping for another 50. All right. Let's switch gears, pop out of this, and pop over to talk a bit about Coco. Okay, we're gonna use nicknames and cover names because we're gonna try to.
We talking about the Rona, y'all.
Yeah, we're gonna try to keep this video as unflagged and uncensored and untagged and labeled as possible.
That's possible, yeah.
We feel like it is necessary as we get into the fall. Fall is coming.
Back to school, exchanging,
finishing vacations, coming out from travel, doing a whole bunch of stuff, and it's worth it to acknowledge that if you look out, the Rona numbers is on the rise, right? Coco is on the move, and there are things that we feel like or felt like it was worth counting out or pointing out or at least talking to y'all about in terms of Coco, right? So three things in particular I wanted to point out in terms of this emergent story. Number one, there are apparently two different strains that have emerged. The first is EG.5 or EG.5, also known as the Eris strain, ERIS, Eris, and the second strand is the BA.2.86 strand, which is known or being called Parola, right? So we know that those two strands have been moving around. Parola specifically has been seen in 5 countries. Those countries include South Africa, Denmark, the UK, Israel, and the United States. And more specifically, the United States, that strain has been found in Michigan, Virginia, and Ohio. Now, what they're saying is that those are two new strains, but what they've really been seeing is a fluctuation and an increase of the old strains, right? So things like Omicron is still floating around and affecting people. And it's really turning into a real world where schools are being flooded. Most recently in LA County, they have identified what they're calling as a triple demic that they are worried about, which is a combination of cocoa, uh, RSV, which is a respiratory issue, and the flu. Right, so they're very concerned that that concoction of those things is what's going to be what overwhelms a lot of the infrastructure, a lot of the systems, and has a lot of people down bad. Second thing to call into know is today a report was released that says the state of Kentucky has, or I'm sorry, a school district in the state of Kentucky has had to cancel classes for only 2 weeks in the school because of such high rates of strep throat, Rona, and the flu that have already overtaken that system. Now, I just had a doctor's appointment early this week, and I actually was offered my flu vaccine, which I took because I take flu vaccines. And that's because I work in a classroom. I work with a whole bunch of nasty teenagers who don't wash their booty because their mama is not telling them to do that no more. And so if you're not washing your ass, you're not washing your hands.
Right, fresh college students, yeah.
Listen, right, some of them still be musty. So that being said, right, we keep it cute, we keep it safe, we do what we can to fight back. And they are worried about the overwhelming capacity or lack thereof that they're going to experience in those classrooms. And this is already what it's looked like 2 weeks in. The last thing I want to bring up is an article that Plug has pulled up right now that talks about the 21.6%, almost 22% increase in hospitalizations that we're seeing nationwide based on what the CDC has reported, right? A lot of concern for, right now they're feeling good about the ability for old tests to be able to be responsive or to be able to catch some of these things. They're motivated by people who are wanting to do the right thing and are self-motivated to self-report and stuff like that. But it's a lot of questions about the infrastructure and capacity that the country is going to have if we continue to see in all parts of the nation these numbers increase, right? So that's what's happening in the squad. Now, that being said, so a lot of people tired. A lot of people don't want to hear that shit.
I told y'all we had some depressing shit to talk about, y'all. I told y'all. I'm sorry. That's why I like keep the energy. Like, let's keep it like we still like hip hop. We still feeling that energy. We in that. Don't cry yet. Go ahead, Toya.
And so, and we did try to warn you as Plug kind of has the article up in the back that's giving some particularities. Did you have anything specific you wanted to shout out from that video before we move, or that post before we move to the video?
No, I wanted to do the disclaimer to let the algorithm and to let YouTube know we are only sharing information that has been validated and verified. We are only displaying information about the coronavirus, or what is also known as COVID-19, in a way to inform people, to give people the tools to be able to inform themselves. We are not healthcare professionals, nor are we attempting to display ourselves to be giving healthcare advice
at all. Now, Plug, get the video ready to pull up, because as much as we are not saying we're those things, we already have affirmed and confirmed on this show that we agree with science. We are people who have a healthy skepticism, so we're not stupid. We're not without direction, just following.
So Alex Jones came out with a video saying that TSA whistleblowers contacted him.
Are critical thinkers, we're scholars, we're researchers, and so we ask a lot of the bigger questions that give us the confidence personally to align ourselves with the way that medicine has allowed for us to protect ourselves from communicable deadly disease. Right? So we feel good about it, but we understand everybody don't feel the same way. This is not an opportunity to tear nobody down about it, but realistically, we know that between the vac,
came out with the video saying that
between masking and between shutdowns, we know that was some of the options, some of the only options we had on the table to really contain this thing. But a lot of people ain't buying it. They're not into it. So you might agree with this man that we're about to listen to. I personally think it's poppycock and balderdash, especially when you listen to who he cites as the person he's getting his information from. But I get the sentiment that as we go into this new season of Coco, that a lot of people may feel, at least to a degree, like this individual right here. Go ahead and play the clip.
Let's get it.
Alex Jones came out with a video saying that.
Hold on, let me get the sound right. I get the sound right.
Yeah, run it back.
Make sure y'all can hear it.
In the meantime, in the
I got
meantime,
it.
before you press play, I want y'all to be ready to chime in after this because I really got some questions. I got questions for the plug, but I really want to hear from y'all how we gonna think about a lot of these moving pieces, understanding and knowing what we know. So play the clip and then y'all be ready to jump into the comments.
All right.
Alex Jones came out with a video saying that TSA whistleblowers contacted him and told him that they will be bringing back masks and vaccine mandates to airports by October. Now, I know some of you are going to want to say, what? That's Alex Jones. Why are you even reporting this? That man is crazy. That doesn't even sound reasonable. No mainstream media reported this. Oh, except for there's a few things you should consider. Like the fact that TSA and the federal government never wanted to lift the mask mandates to begin with. They only did so because the courts forced them to. Or the fact that businesses and colleges all over the country have started bringing back both masks and vaccine mandates. Or you can consider the fact that the news has been inundating us with COVID after cases increase, after mask mandates, after why we should bring back this, after we're preparing a new booster shot, that. As if they are preparing us to get ready for a new set of lockdowns and mandates. You know what I also find interesting? The fact that all this COVID-19 fear-mongering is arriving right in time for another election. Fancy that! Not to mention, like Jimmy Dore says here, masking is actually harmful and the science does not actually support bringing back masks even if COVID-19 were to have another outbreak. So are you gonna call Alex Jones crazy again, or are we just gonna look at all the evidence around us and think for yourselves?
All right, now.
So real quick, Toy. We gotta point this out. We are not advocating a word this man has said. The Chop Up does not believe in Alex Jones, nor do we believe in any of the rhetoric that this individual is pushing. This is for commentary and analysis purposes only. Algorithm, we are not advocating nothing this nigga is on. Go ahead, Toy.
If y'all not familiar with Alex Jones, you will be because if you recall, he was recently litigated and lost lawsuits about him decrying that Sandy Hook was a lie, that it was a false flag event, and that there were actors who were a part of that tragic event where 20 plus elementary school kids and some teachers were tragically killed. He also, is a big believer in QAnon, just big textbook conspiracy theorist. And now, and ironically, if y'all haven't caught our episode about conspiracy theories from last week, go back and watch the whole, because it was a great conversation that looks at Black conspiracy theories that Black people have, and which ones we should keep and which ones we should let go of. I definitely think fam was on the ones that we need to let go of, right? A whole laundry list of here's a larger agenda and look at the elections coming up and look at this, that, and the other. But I want to hear from y'all. And Melodious already kind of got to some of this in the comments, so I'm gonna read what they said in a second. But do you even care anymore? Like, what's the I guess on a scale of 1 to 10.
Do we care about COVID? Is that what
wait. On a scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10. Do you care about COVID? Conversations about COVID. Social, even political conversations about COVID. Just on a scale of 1 to 10, where is your radar at for when COVID news pops up, or what you care to know about, or how you want to moving into the fall and in the spring? Scale of 1 to 10, where are you at with COVID? Do you care?
So honestly, how I feel about it is like I care in so much as
I need a number.
On a scale from 1 to 10.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I care. I care like a 6, 7. I mean, because this is the thing. Like, I feel like if it's handled responsibly, we don't need to care like a 10. You feel me? If we treat it like we treat the flu. Right? Like if we treat it like, because I mean, like if you got the flu, stay your ass at home. If you got the flu, wash your hands, wear a mask. If you got any, like the rotavirus, you know what I'm saying? Like any of that, like my 2-year-old just had like a little stomach bug, and I'm hand sanitizered up. You feel me? Like, nah, son, I know you want to give daddy hugs and kisses, but I'm gonna have to dab you up real quick. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't that harsh, but you know what I'm saying? We created some distance. You feel me? So it's like if we look at it responsibly, like we know what the coronavirus could produce. You feel me? Like then, yeah, I think we should be straight. The problem comes in though, is that you got videos like old buddy going on these long tangents about what Alex Jones is saying about how masks are deadly. And bro, where is the data that showed that masks was killing people? Oh wait, the people that's in control don't want that data to come out. Like that's what I'm saying. Anytime you have like the basis of your argument is questioning and calling into question or doubting some larger structure, we can't do nothing with it. Even if you on some real shit, we can't do nothing with it. So like I feel like it's a 7, 6, 7 right now. Yeah. Because we know what long form COVID does. You got people that's still dealing with COVID. You feel me? I mean, but we also know that it's a you know what I'm saying, it's a wild card. Like you don't know how you're gonna be impacted. So be better safe than sorry. So I'd rather be a 7 and be, you know what I'm saying, and be able to curtail the shit than be on some bullshit and 6 months later niggas got to be on a 10. Exactly. So that's how I look at it.
Shout out to Chris for popping in. Shout out to Melodious for dropping something. I'm gonna get to Melodious comment in a second.
What's good, Chris?
I'm gonna say 7-2. I feel like we are too in the ways that we often are, as I think in American society, probably more so than either other nations. Yeah. Because we move on quick from mass shootings. And it's this talk of the story for a day or a
tragedy is just like it's a part of the game. Death and destruction is a part of the game. Like niggas
and so but it gets very little airtime, and I think the more and more we talk about things, we just get fatigued with the severity of situations so fast and so bad that we really give up on stuff. So we've forgotten. We have a very terrible historical record of just how heinous and how ugly and how wicked COVID was when it was at its peak, when we didn't have no answers, when there wasn't no vaccine, when they was trying to, was it 12 feet or 6 feet, or can you go or can't you? You know what I'm saying? It was bad. People was dying fast. You know what I'm saying? And COVID is still very much killing people, not to the same extent, but people are still dying. COVID, from what I understand, it has not changed. It's still the third leading cause of death in this country. You know what I'm saying? So like, bro, like you worried about
But cancer. We adapt to that type of shit often though. Like we like shit, hey, this thing is killing y'all more than anything else. And we be like, damn, it is.
But that's what's wild, and that's why I take it as a 7, because I mean it still has wreaked havoc on so many people and so many lives. And like you said, with long COVID, it's still lasting, and we don't know what the effects of that long COVID is gonna be. So to take your foot off the gas and not really care when you have information that you can do something with, it's just so careless to me, because it's just so many confounding factors and things that we aren't really certain about. You know what I'm saying? So I'm taking it serious because I will be pissed off if something happened to my mama. I'd be pissed off if something really bad happened to me.
Man, listen, my mama got like a couple dozen immunodeficiency issues. You feel me?
Yeah.
So it's like,
you know what I mean? So I'll be trying to keep her on the radar and make sure she ain't listening to no BS about nothing, because I need us to be ready to move, urgently if we need to change. Right. Melodia said it's on the rise worldwide. My boss told me a couple of days ago she called it. I've been testing like crazy, which is wild, because I'm only waiting for one of these kids to hit me with a, I got cocoa. You know what I'm saying? I'm just waiting on the text or for the email or whatever, because I know it's coming. Nico said it was rumors of another lockdown. We're gonna come back to that in a second. Melodia said they at an 8. I do care, but it's because I live abroad and the rules here are strict and make it hard to visit home. And so you don't want things to get out of control, because then you're gonna be tied up and wrapped up and tangled up like you was at the peak of things when everything was shut down, and there was a lot more restrictions at the gate. And even if you do come, you got to get a rapid and come with PCR and come with, you know what I'm saying? Like that's a whole
we got to jump through hoops just to get my child back to daycare. You know what I mean? Yeah. So there's still levels of requirements. Like if it looked like COVID, like hey, like think of whatever you remember what we was doing when it was COVID. That 2 weeks, go ahead and chill. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That type of stuff. I think I think
8 too, by the way.
Yeah, Nico's at an 8. But I think what's interesting that Melodious point out is how politically we don't see another shutdown happening. And the reason why I would agree with that is
I'm gonna get there.
Okay. Oh yeah. Right. Go ahead.
That's why I've been skipping it on purpose.
Donnell said Donnell said a 7. They had a 7.
I'm gonna back and go get it. Donnell said 7 is what they taught us as kids. You'd rather be safe than sorry. It's no doubt. So everybody has, at least on here, who's speaking up for themselves, has some type of reasonable interest in how things is moving and shaking. And I think that's valid. I love that. I love that. At least, y'all, I need y'all every Thursday. So I love that y'all invested and pull it up on me. That means a lot to me. That being said, then I want to ask now about the shutdown. So we know we got some heightened interest based on what y'all said. We had a 7, we had an 8. We interested, we invested. How do y'all feel about the potential of another shutdown? I know Melodious is talking about it. Now we're gonna go to this comment. Plug, read Melodious's comment on the likelihood of shutdowns, because I think that's important to consider too.
I think the current climate in the U.S., environmental and political, would not support another lockdown. Another lockdown. Too many politicians are willing to create chaos. Andrea said 8 as well. I think that I would have, and this is where I was saying I would have to agree with Melodious in this instance, but on both sides though, I don't even think more one said 8 as well. I think that what's because we are in an election season, I think both Democrat, Republican alike don't want no shutdown.
It's radioactive, man. That those words together is toxic for anybody trying to run for something.
I mean, and I mean the one thing that we definitely recognize during the election season anyway, policy is at the bottom of what people is discussing, and they more so trying to figure out what do I need to say, especially at this point in an election cycle, what do I need to say to tap into my base. And I that's like you said, it's toxic to even say like, hey, y'all can't go back to work, whatever. The amount of businesses that were shut down, you feel me? Like the people not working, like people not wanting to not work type shit, you feel me?
Right.
As well as fears associated with what's going on with Wall Street and the market already. Another shutdown would be, like disastrous.
Yeah, and then so, I mean too, we couldn't get on the same foot about how valuable certain workers were over other workers. So I'm sure people at this point gonna have something to say about, you know what I'm saying, that money was lost. Business was lost, you know what I'm saying? And that's what really people worried about. We up here paying $5 for gas and doing all types of weird shit because there's a war going on in Ukraine, but also because of the price hiking that these companies have been able to do because they can blame the slowdowns and the shutdowns. So this is complicated and nasty and wicked.
But I also, but I also think though that it's one of those things where we also have the capability. We're more familiar with it than we were. So I don't think it's as necessary to shut down like we used to, because it's like we know what we're dealing with. Even with these mutations, we still more familiar with what, you know what I'm saying, with what we're working with than before.
So, okay, let me ask the question. In an ideal world, would you want another shutdown? In an ideal world, COVID get bad. We know what they not going to do, right? We've established that. We know it's not realistic. But if you could choose, would you want, if COVID get at its peak again, for people to slow down, take a step back, and go take it back to the crib?
I mean, I would want to. I'm not against it. I'm not against the shutdown as an individual. Like, and plus, also, I'm not a capitalist. Actually, I'm anti-capitalist. I think that it's the nature of capitalism that tells us to endure and die. You know what I'm saying? To keep businesses open, to make sure profit is still moving. You feel me? So I feel like, yeah, like from an anti-capitalist standpoint, like them businesses, like we can rebuild that shit. Like with all this shit can get, you know what I'm saying, put back up. We print money. All this shit is artificial in the first place. We give this shit value. So shit, like life, you can't put no price tag on that. But what they displaying is they willingness to. You feel me? So
I'm gonna say yes in an ideal world, but for a different reason than you. I'm a separatist. Y'all be over there. I'm over here. We can have class online. We already on the online for the Chop Up Show. I just come over here and just talk to y'all. No problem. Easy. I probably talk to y'all even more if I was able to just be at the crib with it.
She's a separatist.
On top of the fact,
you silly.
Hey, routine making was so much easier back then. I really do cherish that time during the lockdown. The world was cleaner. The sky was bluer. The birds was chirping louder.
Bro, it wasn't no traffic. I was able to make it out to Orange County from Long Beach. I was able to make it to Orange County in less than an hour. It was beautiful.
Zip and dip all day long, and I
going to LAX was like a breeze. A flight out of LAX was a breeze. You can get there an hour before your flight and be straight. It was man. The pandemic was a wild time out here in LA, man. It was a wild.
All right,
time.
Last question about this before we move. Because more one, they really do be acting like money is a limited resource out here. It's not that deep. Shout out to Melodious for pointing out too that the hesitancy that they have for lockdowns is scary, because it does make you wonder, like, how bad do it really got to get for y'all to
really be how many people? Because when you say how bad it got to get, the question is how many people got to die before we willing to shut it down. Yeah,
the answer was more than the last time, and last time it was a hell of a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's crazy. Last
Right.
question though, before we move on. We say shut down and whatever ideal world we want one. But mask. How would you feel if maybe it wasn't shut down, but you had to go back to masking regularly and getting back
Masking, vaccine mandates, all that. I'm cool with it. I'm like that's what I'm saying, man. Like I feel like as black people, we deal with like the restrictions of racism that are so fundamental, normal, and ignored. Like when you really understand how pervasive that shit is, people talking about vaccine mandates and masks, that ain't shit. You know what I mean? The fear that black people feel when the police get behind you when you ain't doing nothing wrong. You got your license right, your registration right, but there's still an anxiety. I can't no mask. Make it like telling the nigga he gotta wear a mask. It don't equate to that. You feel me? So I feel like we if we want to be against systems and structures, like we pick low hanging fruit, like the shit that's right there. Actually, I take that back. The low hanging fruit is the obvious racism and shit that we deal with. We look past the low hanging fruit to fight against these things that we gotta. You know what I'm saying? Go out of our way to find a problem with. Like we got to go out of our way to find a problem with vaccines when, like we talked about on our conspiracy theory episode, we have a issue with the healthcare system. You ain't even got to make it about vaccines to even have that conversation. We got a for real issue with the healthcare system as a whole. You know what I'm saying? But you trying to learn the science of vaccines through YouTube videos and Reddit posts.
That ain't it.
Yeah, I mean, when it's when it's I told shout out to Conscious Lee. He out here on the West Coast on some YouTube shit. Hit me up. I told him I was gonna be doing the show. But so like I feel like I'm not worried about no mask, man.
Not worried about no mask. The comments say, Andrea, first of all, said people weren't all in your space. So agreeing with me about being able to be with the lockdown. People weren't all in your space with the lockdown. I have people breathing down my neck now. And shout out to Andrea who said, I never stopped wearing a mask. Right. I went to the doctor day before yesterday. And I walked in there and felt so guilty about just not doing the common sense thing and just grabbing the mask real quick out the whip. Because I still got them hanging off my blinker.
Free breathing.
You know what I'm saying? Like a fool. You know what I mean? And it really
free breathing like a fool.
After COVID, when we were wearing masks and I was even going to the doctor, I was like, why was I ever coming in here with a mask on anyway? People got cocoa, strep, cooties. That.
If you're gonna wear a mask anywhere, your ass should be wearing it at the doctor's office.
You know what I'm saying? No matter what, forever and ever, amen. So I always said I was gonna do better than that. Similar to that, mask. Melodia says masks are still worn in France. I still wear mine on public transit, and so another time, like I used to always mask up. I don't really do a lot of public transit, but in Ubers and stuff like that and in Lyfts, I'm about to go back to my old ways, man. Like my time is ticking. You know what I'm saying? I'm just living young, wild, and free.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. Ain't nothing wrong.
I gotta shout out cousin Kevin is in the building.
Kevin. Well, yeah, good. It's been a minute.
Better late than never. Definitely glad to have you up in here. But really, that's all I wanted to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Nico is in agreement with us. Mask ain't the worst thing in the whole wide world. I definitely go back and put myself on, no problem. And I'm about to get back into those habits and practices. But keep your head on swivel, keep your ear to the ground, keep having conversations with your loved ones about, you know what I'm saying, things that they can do to protect themselves and things that make sense. Make sure you are disputing misinformation and disinformation and telling folk the truth. And shit, pointing to people like us who is out here not trying to cap for nobody. You know what I'm saying? I want to be free just like everybody else. I don't do my own thing just for like anybody else, but it's a time and a place for everything. And things are changing around us. You know what I'm saying? So get hip with it and move how you need to move to stay safe. Long COVID is not a joke from what I hear. Plug, wrap us up and take us out with the last little conversation we're going to have for the night before we get up out of here.
All right, so let's do this, y'all. I feel like the problem with leftist media, liberal media is that it's a lot of Donald Trump focus. It's Trump is doing this, Trump is doing that as we transition into this political chop.
And Melodious, you know we did. It's already on the Chop Up Show page, baby. Don't even worry about it. Go to the Instagram right now. Like the mugshot. It's up there.
And Melodious has perfect timing because now we are actually going to talk about the reason why we're talking about this shit in this instance is because we are in a historic moment. It was historic when he became the first president to be indicted. But I want to point out why this is now his first time getting a mugshot and why it's significant. The purpose of the mugshot, for those who do not know, let's go get up here so the folks can see. Let's get it up here for the folks can see.
Here you go, right here.
Toya got one. We're gonna get it right here. The nigga look like a bad guy, like literally from the Super Mario movie. Oh god.
Yeah.
No, he looks like a Pixar villain. Donald Trump looks like the villain in Boss Baby, shit like that. Yeah, for real, for real. Like look like he don't look real.
We gotta shout out Rudy Giuliani making his walk.
Rudy Giuliani too.
Yeah.
Rudy Giuliani too. But I was, and I'm gonna be honest. I thought Trump was gonna hit him with the it's like some type of smirk. You know what I mean? To try to be on some smooth shit. Really, and I think that it, like his mugshot is really an indication of how he feel about how successful he gonna be with a lot of these criminal shits that he dealing with. Because I feel like if he really felt confident, he would have hit him with the white boy. What's his name? The Frank Sinatra. You know what I'm saying? The slight smirk, right? Yeah. The little bit of smile. Nah, he looked for real mad, right? He looked like a for real mad, like bad guy from Shrek or some shit.
Him angry, him upset.
Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? One of the villains from Zootopia or some shit. But either way, the reason why we just now get into this point and we like finally he getting the mugshot even with all the illegal shit he did is the purpose of the mugshot is that you take the picture and if you run off, we have a record of what you look like. And the idea is that, well, this is the president of the United States, right? He, you know, why? Like everybody knows what he looks like. He can't run nowhere, right? But with what was happening in Manhattan and the case in DC, right? It made sense. You know, he's a major player in New York. He was the president. You know what I'm saying, in DC,
right?
But in Georgia,
in
the city of Atlanta, in the county of Fulton.
They ain't here cooking. They cooking him in the comments too, by the way. He looked like a paper bag. Y'all,
all of that. All of that.
Y'all.
The sister known as Fani Willis.
Yeah.
The sister known as Fani Willis was like, Mr. Trump, you and your cohorts are not above the law. What criminals go through when they break the law in Atlanta.
Yeah.
What Young Thug and them had to go through. What Gunna and his snitching ass had to go through.
Rico.
You feel me? You got to go through that too. Ironically, Donald Trump has hired Young Thug's lawyer.
Yeah. No, Gunna's lawyer.
Gunna's lawyer, right. Gunna's lawyer. Yes, to fight this Rico case.
Honey, look.
Because he did get Gunna off. Right? He did get Gunna off. That was an Alfred plea. That's another chop up. That's another political plug in the or political chop in the case that becomes a possibility. Right. But the question that I want to ask y'all now that we are on this historic day, this white man in power is being held accountable. He's having to endure the criminal justice system from the perspective of those who have committed a crime, not from the perspective of the powerful. I mean, even though like he still gets the perspective of the powerful because he had a $200,000 bond that he was able to hit without question. So, but he still had to go through the procedures, the processes. Mm-hmm. So the question that I want to ask y'all, Toya, as well as the chat, do y'all think this impacts his ability to run for president? Does it delegitimize him in y'all eyes anyway? Do y'all think that it does anything to his voters, to the people that support him? Does it move the needle at all? Because there are folks that would argue, and the reason that they was against giving him a mugshot is because it was gonna be people that was gonna celebrate it. And I want to show y'all Exhibit A.
Lord Jesus. Lord Jesus. Y'all hold on to your seats when y'all watch this one because it's sad.
I want to show y'all Exhibit A. Because this is an example of a cult. If there was any way to fully describe it, this is the example of a cult. Y'all look at this is when Donald Trump's mugshot was first released. He flew from Florida to Georgia to take the mugshot. It was a 20-minute. It took him 20 minutes to get booked. He was in and out, and that's why. Let me take back the shit that I said about him experiencing the justice system. This shit is a minute detail. You feel me? Just because Donald Trump had to literally take a mugshot does not mean that his experience with the criminal justice system is anything close to what niggas, especially niggas in Atlanta, have had to deal with.
Absolutely.
So let's be clear about that. This is not a moment of celebration just because Donald Trump has a mugshot. But let's take a look and see how MAGA responded. Oh, let me make sure I get the sound right too. Yeah, I know all these technical things. All right, let's get it. Do y'all see the celebration? Do y'all see the celebration?
Did the audio play on your end?
The audio play, yeah.
Okay. Wait. Breaking news.
What we got?
Tyler said it's a meme. It's a soccer game. It was on TikTok. All right, are we sure? Because I'm concerned. Now, this does seem like soccer game celebration, but I also know for a fact, based on the Republican debate that was on Fox News last night, that the Republicans get raucous. They turn the fuck up. You right?
Okay, hold on. So this was a soccer game?
Apparently they put something else up on the screen. And so
you know what?
I don't know. Now I'm worried about its falsifiability. I'm not certain anymore.
No, you know what? And I appreciate that, Tyler, because that's the second motherfucking time that I didn't got. Because they did that AI. Now this is an example of why we got to be careful with AI, y'all. Because they did that with some Tyler said it was a meme. Kevin said it was a soccer game.
Yeah.
Yeah. They did that with
Tyler, we get it. We missed it. All right, we not in the know.
Nah, cause they did that. Cause it's quick. It's quick how they operate. They did that with a Ron DeSantis. They did that with a Ron DeSantis event stop where the nigga was really like. They made it seem like he was asking, like he was responding to questions, like they was talking shit to him, but it was like somebody called him a bitch of the establishment or something. So like,
here's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, cause I get it. It's a meme. It's not real. Conjured up this time. But we saw January 6th. If you watched the debates yesterday, you saw at a Republican presidential debate the behavior of the crowd. In addition to the 8 debaters that was up there talking, the crowd was almost inconsolable and uncontrollable the entire time. So, yes, this video was wrong. No, I don't take back nothing that I said or nothing that it might insinuate with this. That there were people probably somewhere celebrating and are going to have a blast wearing. Because here's my answer to your question about this shit in terms of does it change anything? No, because they want a martyr. Republicans want a martyr. Trump supporters and Trump Nation don't care what he has to go through. They are willing to die behind the ideology. This is why it proves the cult point that you were making before. So even if that video was completely false, and it sounds like it is, I still am 1000% not persuaded that people are not going to continue to support him and that campaign no matter what. To the ends of the earth is where these people is willing to go because they sit.
Well, and the thing that I want to point out is if we look at, because a part of the context that we speaking from is the celebration, and what I want y'all to see is these people actually even before Donald Trump actually had an official mugshot, they was already selling Donald Trump mugshot t-shirts.
Yeah,
and when I say they. Donald Trump's team was selling Donald Trump mugshot t-shirts for $36.
Yeah.
Right? So definitely in terms of the context of that video, that's some shit that was spliced together. That's crazy how niggas do that. But I think the sentiment is still the same. Was it a celebration? It's like, yes, it was. Yes, it was. Was it in that lane, in that arena? Nah, like it wasn't some people that came together and did that shit in that capacity. But was they celebrating, selling, like or like celebrating and galvanizing and actually rallying behind Donald Trump in terms of in terms of him being indicted and what that meant? Yeah, they've been selling them T-shirts. Right here, from this Time article. Trump's booking in Atlanta is the 4th time he's faced criminal charges in 6 months, but it's the first time his face has been captured for the iconic symbol of a run-in with the law. In previous cases, the courts agreed Trump did need to have a mugshot taken, prompting his campaign to design a fake mugshot, printed on a T-shirt, and offered him for sale at $36 each in an effort to galvanize his base.
Kevin has kind of gotten at a couple times in the comments, is that between T-shirt sales, cap sales, and flag sales, that's what paid his bond. You know what I'm saying? He ain't touching no Trump capital money. A lot of the stuff that he's doing to maneuver these situations, whether it's the lawyers he's paying or particularly the bond that he was able to get away with, 200,000, 10% or whatever that is probably definitely from the revenue from selling this shit that celebrates his criminality. The irony.
Also, y'all got to think who creates these shits. It was created so that people on social media that celebrate Trump could share it, so they could think that it's more people celebrating Trump.
Yeah.
The whole concept, the ideology behind the whole thing is to see this cult. And I think one thing that Kevin pointed out too is that when they all raised their hand, when they was asked, and not even all raised it at once. Like the hesitation was weird. That's why we ain't even talking about the Republican presidential debate, because it was
keep it.
Like it was mid. None of y'all even close to winning. The reason why Donald Trump didn't show up is because he knew he didn't have to. Like Vivek, I think at this point, the Vivek dude is really just having fun. He's just kicking it. Running for a position in office that he know he can't win, but he knows that if he gets up there and acts a fool, he gonna be straight. You know what I mean? Like it's one of them things.
They're gonna know who he is. He's gonna be able to build, network, build social connections, relationships, have some political capital or social capital that will boost his own agenda. Let him do what he's doing. He already a multimillionaire. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't even need it. But whatever his aspirations are, yeah, that's it.
And so it's I feel like we've reached a point where the cult of Donald Trump is now dictating and dominated a lot of the Republican Party, and they got to deal with the consequences. But I also think we can't look at it as, because it's Democrats and we're gonna get to the chat in a minute. I just want to say this: it's Democrats that celebrate and that's looking at it like it's a win for democracies. No, it means that from the left side of the aisle, the liberal leftist perspective, y'all gonna be that much more okay with settling. Because it's still just not Donald Trump. This is the problem. We can't celebrate this man being like, we can't celebrate this mugshot. We can't celebrate these indictments, because at the end of the day, he's still the nominee. He's still gonna be the nominee. He has a double-digit lead over second and third place. For like the really second and third place don't even look like viable options. And during the debate, they all kissed his ass while at the same time trying to shake shots.
Yeah, absolutely. It was the weirdest thing to watch ever.
So it's one of them things where like we see this historic moment, right? Like it was historic when he was indicted. It was historic when he was impeached 3 times. You know what I mean? Like his everything about him has been unprecedented. And really detrimental, but I'm not gonna be comfortable until a jury come back guilty and somebody say, all right, this man gonna have to sit down. You feel me? And then I may not even be too comfortable then, because the type of shit that the white people that support Donald Trump be willing to do, niggas need to be on edge. Now remember, black folk, if justice actually it's a possibility of it, if it's a possibility that it could come to, that it could actually, you know what I'm saying, like him getting locked up, be prepared. I'm saying this right now because he's not gonna win the election, and they're not gonna trip about him not winning the election. But it could be something that come from him getting locked up. And when white people get mad, even though they mad at the Democrats, you know who they go out and target. You know who become. Listen, it ain't the Democrats. Goddamn, it's black churches, it's black grocery stores. All right, remember in the year 2022, all of the extremist related unalivings were done by right wing extremists. 80% of those being white nationalists.
Numbers don't
So,
lie.
so with that being said, we appreciate the fact checking. This is all breaking news, so sometimes things got to get corrected in order. But it's all love. The point's still made. We got to watch out for this cult. Thank you, hip hop. 50-year celebration. We appreciate y'all sticking around for that. I'm glad we was able to have that conversation with y'all. And y'all seem like y'all was fucking with it. Let us know if y'all want us to talk music a little bit more. Talk a little bit more about the culture. You feel me? Because we got some insight. We connected like that. Yeah. But let's get into some of these comments before we close out. Let's go. We got Kevin said that they all raised their hand to support him if he convicted. Melodious said, but he has created a nationwide cult around him. Exactly, and that's why even that image that it regardless of its authenticity, it's a reflection of like what we see behind them. He said, so the only hope now is to make sure we outnumber them when it counts. I suspect soon Republicans will start posting mugshots in support. We know that that's coming. Kevin said that's what paid his bond. Andrea said, my friend is conservative and I realize how delusional he is. And she said, my friend. And full of ish he is around paper bag man. He asked me, did I see the debate last night and claim there was a Republican Obama on?
But did you
heard what he interested.
Mans was like, I'm just a skinny, weird kid, non-politician from wherever he's from, and that is a direct quote, bar for bar, word for word, for what Barack Obama said when he was running for president in 2004. I mean, in 2004, or whenever the hell that was,
2000, yeah, well,
5, 6, whatever.
Yeah, no, it was 2004 because it was at the RNC.
2008.
Yeah, it was at the RNC. Yeah. Oh no, not the RNC, the DNC. My apologies. It's late. We've been on here for an hour and a half, y'all.
I knew what you was trying to say. But word for word, bar for bar, like stole lines from him. So when they talk about this Republican Obama thing, I think it's unfortunate and sad, but the extrapolation is there. The connection is there because they literally stole that shit. Andrea continued by saying, yeah, plug, my friend said this morning on the way to work on the bus, and I think it's referring to something you was talking about, but that my friend is a black conservative. So you know.
Kevin said he see the flags all the time on the 405 pickups with OC license plates. They always have an excuse to support his criminality. Of course, Tyler wanted to point out, wait, a multimillionaire is running for president? You don't say. Yeah. That's what that seemed like that's what we've been dealing with. Kevin also said we need to keep our chairs locked and loaded.
Yeah. You a fool for that, but I agree.
Yes, for sure. Tyler said I still ain't invited on the show. We gonna get you on. But we definitely appreciate all y'all that was tapped in. We like the hip hop conversation was dope. I'm glad we was able to get that in before we talked about Trump, punk ass. We want to focus on the culture. We want to focus more on positivity. We get tired. Like I get tired of hearing everybody talking about that nigga. So we got to move on. And y'all be careful. Like wash your hands. Wear mask in tight public places if you use, public transit. Research information that you're not sure about. And don't listen to niggas on YouTube and Twitter that try to give you health advice.
That part.
All right.
Hey, last thing I'll say is shout out to everybody who came in here talking to us tonight. Nico, Tyler, Kevin, Melodious, Andrea. Y'all definitely kept the conversation moving. The homie Chris popped in here for a little bit more. Anybody still left in here, we love y'all. And Dina, Candy Kane, it'll never be a time we end the show without showing y'all love and appreciation for popping in here on us. We'll be back in this thing next Thursday. We back in the regular routine. If y'all missed the show we did on Monday, make sure you get the whole week's worth of Chop Up Show conversations that we have. And if you have not hit that thumbs up, tap that thing. We wrapping it up in here, so don't miss your opportunity to hit a thumbs up real quick and show love to the fact that the show was a good experience. And if you feel it, right next to the thumbs or somewhere close to it, depending on what you're watching on, is the share button. I ain't even asking you for no caption. I ain't even asking you. You don't got to describe it. You don't got to write it. But I really want to put a charge out there. Remember, Plug said from the church, I'm going to charge you. to just hit share and put us on the timelines and the radar of the people that you care about, you think might benefit from this if they just got curious and wanted to see what the hell you was sharing real quick. Do that for us. We appreciate y'all forever. My heart is big and it beats heavily for Chop Nation. So I just appreciate y'all. Plug, final words before we go.
Hey, love y'all. Appreciate the dialogue. Don't get caught up with this Trump nonsense, but pay attention. Notice what's going on. Wash your hands. Wear masks when necessary. And, if you can, do what's right for your health. We appreciate y'all pulling up. Y'all stay tuned. If more breaking news come out, y'all may see us sooner. But with that being said, we're going to see y'all Thursday for sure. We out this thing. This is the Chop Up. Peace.
We out.
Yeah, and we good.